Hello everyone, officially Never Here or Evan, and today I have another add-on showcase for you guys. So I would like to preface this video with the fact that I am still not 100% satisfied with how everything operates and how everything works and even the interface options, but it's at a state where I'm happy enough to show it off. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and I hope you guys enjoy. So today's video is going to be about my, I guess, navigation-based NPC that allows for outside navigation input. Specifically, it's a tool for game masters. They will be using this to hopefully direct battles more towards their liking rather than just letting the AI of the NPC dictate where it goes, who it shoots at, and its general behavior as a whole. Anyway, so what you see in my hand here is the NPC controller tool. Now, I'd like to first state that this does not work on all NPCs, only NPCs that use a base of mine will this actually work on. But basically there are 4 different options that you can modify, and in addition to that you can also modify some of the movement of it, such as where it goes and how fast it moves. So I guess I will go down the list of options real quick, and if they're not self-evident then I am sorry, but I'm not going to explain them. So basically we've got the move types, we've got the move behaviors, we've got the destination behaviors, and then we've got the shoot behaviors. So each of these are toggled by pressing 1, 2, 3, or 4 on your keyboard, so you can switch between them with super ease. And basically, yeah, I will explain this. So if you ever want the default behavior, then just put your little cursor thing in the middle and it should set it back to how it would be by default. Okay, the next thing. There are 3 stages that are used to modify what you do with your tool gun when you left click or right click. So when you left click in stage 0, you'll see this little circle thing here. This is used to select the NPCs that you want to be controlling. You can also right click, and the difference between the two is that left click will select a new group of NPCs disregarding the old group of NPCs, whereas right clicking will include a new group of NPCs with whatever NPCs you had selected previously. So that is useful. If you make a mistake and you don't get all of them, then you can just right click. Well, if I left click, then those go away, but then if I left click those 2 and then right click this guy, then you get all of them. So helpful there. So the next stage is the pathing stage. So this is what you would be using if you wanted to tell the NPCs where you want them to go. It kind of works like my other pathing stuff that you've seen in the past, but basically what you do is you just put down some NPCs, and then you'd go to stage 0 and select them, and then you'd go to stage 1, and after you put down your path, you right click, and they will start the path to that point. Ignore this weird line stuff. This is not something that you'll see. You'll only see these start points and the number points. And yeah, the NPCs should follow the path and then stop at the behavior point where your destination behavior will take over. But if you're not satisfied with how fast they're moving, you would just press 1 on your keypad, and then you can tell them to jog, and they'll start jogging. Or you can tell them to sprint to go even faster, and they will start sprinting. Sprinting means that they cannot shoot, but they will haul some ass. Yeah. Okay. And then next thing you can configure is the behavior. So if you want to, you could tell them to cower, and they will cower. So when they get to their final behavior point, they will crouch down like this. Sorry, some of them are teleporting right now. I still haven't completely set it up. They're like competing for this one spot. But yeah, they'll cower, and they won't shoot. So if you wanted to have retreating NPCs, you could totally make that a thing. Okay, I guess I should go over the third and final stage. So if you right click, with this stage, you can give them live points to go to. So that means that you don't have to set it up beforehand. All you need to do is right click once, and any NPCs you have selected will immediately go to that stage. So this is useful if you wanted to give them live pathing without having to set it up beforehand. This is what you would use. You just right click and they will follow this live pathing. This is different from the stage 1 left clicking, which you have to activate on them by right clicking after you're satisfied with the path. It's just to give the game master who would be controlling this a little more freedom with setting up where they go. So now keep in mind, you don't have to give them as many pathing points as I do. Nowhere near this much. Their own internal pathing should take care of most of it, but a point every so often will help guide them in the direction and the places you want them to go. So I guess the next thing to do would be to show off some of the behavior. So clearing these points. So same control scheme as the other tools I made in the past that involve point-based pathing. Right click will delete all of them, whereas your slow walk key, right click will just delete one at a time. So that's useful for the pathing stuff. Okay. Ooh, actually there's one last mode in stage 2 that I should go over. So not all maps have these, but generally nav meshes have points, I guess you could consider, in them that are hiding points. Now these are points that NPCs can recognize and use to hide. Now they don't actually know what they're hiding from, but as long as you, an intelligent game master, set them down, you can make these points just about anywhere, and as long as you're controlling the flow of the event, a player would never know that there's a droid around this corner until they saw it. So I'm not really sure how useful this will be, but it's something that you guys have the ability to. So basically you just left click over there, and that will tell him, this NPC, to go over there. And then you want to set the destination behavior to hide ambush, and then right click and he should walk over to that start point, and then from there he will look in a small radius around him for any point in which to hide. And when he hides, he will crouch down and wait there until something enters its line of sight. Once something has entered its line of sight, it should open fire. So it should go hide right here, or it might have found some other point. I'm not sure what points there are on this map, and unfortunately I can't guarantee where it will go hide. I might make that later, but for right now I'm just using the built-in system. So yeah, this NPC might be, yeah, it's going in there, I guess. I don't know why it's going in there. Let me turn on SV_cheats real quick, and then third person. Okay, so the NPC has gone over there, and as you can see, it's crouched down. So it won't shoot anything until it's within its line of sight. So it's kind of, air quotes, an ambush mode. And then the second I become visible, it starts shooting and then attacking. So I'm not sure. That might have been a lot of extra functionality that'll never get used, but I thought it would maybe be a nice option for some extra configuration. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot more to cover. This is going to be one long video, so I hope you are ready. So we've got the other two things. Defend will literally just make the NPC remain stationary in place. They won't move, but they will still attack. And attack is just like letting them attack at will. Same as the default behavior, so attack is really kind of redundant, but I just wanted to give it in case you're like freaking out and you're like, oh god, I want them to shoot. Yeah, you got the attack thing. Okay, let me go back to first person. If I can spell. Okay, next thing. So I've gone over the move types. Stand does what you think it does. They will not move. So if you ever want them to just stand still as well immediately, you can just make them stand. Then we've got cower, which makes them cower. You saw that before. Patrol. Patrol is a good one. Okay. So with NPCs, sometimes you want them to maybe act in a manner that is more like, hey, we're patrolling a base, and then you have the players come in, and then they're like, okay, let's try and infiltrate without getting caught. These NPCs, by the way, use a cone-based detection system, so it is possible to sneak up on them. You'll just have to be very careful with your movements, but if you get up behind them, they will not notice you, and you can shoot them and get away with it. Okay, so if I put down a few of these guys, you gotta have some spacing. And then go to stage 0, and then select them. And then I select Patrol, and then I switch to stage 1, and then right click. A lot to keep track of, I know. And then get out of their little attack range. Okay, they should be going. Nope. I'm out of the way. Come on. So NPC behavior is always a little iffy, to say the least. They sometimes collide with one another. Their pathing doesn't always work properly. As you see, they just gatted 2 of their comrades because for whatever reason they kept shooting at me. But they won't shoot at me now because I'm behind them. And they will follow this path all the way around. So if I set their move type to sprint, it should maintain a continuous circle. So from the very last point, their behavior point, they should just go from the behavior point to the spawn point. So basically, patrol. This will make them do this circle forever until you change their behavior, they die, or map restarts. Yeah. So behavior is nice because it allows you to make sure that they follow certain mechanics that you would like them to follow. So there's also sneak. Well, here, I'll let the patrol demonstrate itself real quick. So they should go from behavior back to start, and then just around in a circle. Now, sometimes you want them to advance without giving away their position, and in that case, I would recommend sneak. I also recommend that you configure their move type to be something a little more realistic, otherwise you're going to have some fast-moving crouchy boys. Now, sneak means that they will not shoot at anything. They will not draw attention to themselves, and they will move in a crouched pattern up until the behavior point. So sneak combined with ambush might be a really good combo if you have need for something like that, where you don't want them to reveal themselves, but then the second you want them to attack, you just set their move behavior back to default, and then they'll immediately start shooting. And then you can go back to sneak if you want. So with this, hopefully you'll get a lot more control over the individual NPC behavior, which I understand is maybe not the best thing if you're busy being a game master, but at the same time, if you need greater control, it is now yours for the taking. Okay, and then you've got cower, which is literally just them moving like this. So I'm not sure why you would ever really need this. Maybe there's some RP reason you can come up with, but cower is just them running away. They won't shoot either, and then you can shoot them and they die. I also added some effects here. I'll show some of those off too. So they have some death animations as well as some particle effects. Hopefully these shouldn't be too taxing for individual performance. They are all client-side, so you don't have to worry about the server crashing because of them. The animations will only play, you've got a 1 in 2 chance of the animation playing, but some of them are really nice and others are not so nice. And then, yeah, that's just kind of satisfying, I think. It's fun. They're droids, It's kind of boring sometimes, so I figured adding a little few particle effects, like some smoke, some sparks, maybe a fancy little death animation, would make it more enjoyable to go up against these guys. Okay, so that's their death animations, nothing too special there. The NPCs themselves are nothing special. They're kind of taken from Riddick's base, and I'm sure he'll probably want to do some work on them if he ever does implement them into Project Renegade. But they're kind of a starting point, I guess, for some of the behavior that he might want if he does implement this tool gun. Anyway, what else is there? So I can select them. I can change the move behavior, I can make them defend, and then they won't move. Okay. Actually, hold on, that's something I should check. Yeah, okay, so if they're defending, okay, but they are still in defense, so they should go to defend mode when they get to that point. Oh, I know, the shoot behavior. Okay, so the shoot behavior, that is customizable as well. So by hitting 4 on your numpad key, you've got 4 different options. You can have them shoot with low accuracy, in which case they will rarely hit you, but they will still occasionally hit you. Then you've got medium accuracy. They will be a lot better at hitting you, but still miss a few shots on occasion. Then you've got high accuracy, which pretty much means that they are going to hit you. So only use this if you really want to give the players like a bad day or something. Here, I'm gonna make this guy stop moving. You should, there you go, okay. And then the last thing, suppress. So suppress will hit you maybe 1 in every 50 bullets, but the idea is that it's just to give visual, I guess, effects of you getting shot at without actually shooting at the players. So hopefully that will provide some neat moments for game masters. The way it works is if they can see you, they will shoot over your head. But if they can't see you, then they will shoot right at the point where you are. So actually, if I get these guys to come over here, oop, I need to set their move types to jog and their destination behavior to this. So they should come to this point right here. If that guy will figure his stuff out. It doesn't matter. These two are enough. So I will set them to defend. So they're still on suppress mode, and you'll see that they are shooting above me. On occasion, it will hit my head, but for the most part, they are just shooting above me harmlessly. But if I get behind cover, then they will shoot a little more accurately at the cover. Yeah, so that's just, you know, little quality of life stuff, so that if they can see you, they won't hurt you, but if they can't see you, they'd be shooting right where you're at, just to like make your players feel a little more engaged, even though they're not actually in any danger. Maybe I shouldn't be revealing all of this, because if players know that they're in suppress mode, then they're not going to be as worried, but who says you have to put all of them in suppress mode? Anyway, yeah, that's suppress mode, and those are all the different types of accuracies. So high accuracy, very deadly; medium accuracy, medium deadly; low accuracy, they would only hit you if you're like a barn door, so not that accurate. Okay, trying to think if there's anything else. Unfortunately, this has been like a multi-week project, so a lot of it is kind of like left behind in my head because I've been working on so many different aspects. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, actually, I think that's pretty much it. So I have the ability to completely make as many menu options as you'd like, as many different move types, move behaviors, destination behaviors. Heck, we can even make entire different categories. This thing is very open to customization. But for right now, these are the 4 that I've come up with. They allow you to hopefully control the flow of the battle a little more than you'd ever be able to with just basic NPC thought process, which you have no say in. So with this, hopefully game masters will have a little more control over how events go, rather than just leaving it up to the NPCs. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or suggestions, I'd appreciate them very much. Riddick, I'm sure you probably have quite a few things you'd like to change here and there. None of this is even close to what I would call a final product, but we are getting there. We are making slow but steady progress, and I look forward to see what this evolves into. So, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.